Alex, do you want canned cranberry sauce or should we make it ourselves?
That's my mom. She didn't know about Instacart's family carts, so...
Want to make pecan pie this year, yes or no? Oh, and how many boxes of stuffing?
So I told her we could just share a family cart and add all our holiday favorites to the same order without losing our voices or our sanity. It's so much better.
Alex, can you get my holiday village out of the attic?
Baby steps, Alex. Baby steps. Shop Instacart this holiday season and enjoy free delivery on your first 3 orders. Service fees and terms apply.
Alex?
What's up, Cuzzy Wuzzies? You're listening to the Bay Ridge Boys, History Hyenas. Bad.
What's up, History Hyena fans? This is another episode. As if you didn't already know, I'm telling you, right? Like I'm your dad, like I'm your teacher, like I'm an unwanted voice in your head because you already know you're not fucking stupid. This is another episode of History Hyenas, and it's just 2 trans kids, and we're talking history. And Google it yourself, asshole.
Nothing makes me feel better than just tucking my dick back and looking at some history videos.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do. And the audio is off again.
Yeah.
Is the audio off again? Because the podcast sounded like shit last time.
It sounded like you were in a kitchen pot.
Emma, is it off, Zach? No. It feels okay because I feel like there's an echo.
It
is there an echo?
It sounds like you're a robot. I don't know.
It doesn't matter because let's be honest, we're leaving the studio. We're taking Zach with us and we're out of here.
Yeah,
it's what it is. We're gonna go to a place that actually has a future.
We're going to take Zach with us, but we're going to make no mistake. We're going to not allow Zach to rap ever again.
Yeah.
And anytime the audio doesn't sound good, we're going to start incorporating Chinese sweatshop torture.
Yeah, I'm Chris Stefano.
Like we're going to put pig on his plate because he's a Muslim.
I'm Chris Stefano, a.k.a. Chrissy Coidal, and Hyenas, and I'm with me as my co-host always, Hyenas. And we had a good time this weekend. We were in Providence, Rhode Island, which is the capital of Rhode Island. Hyenas canceled 7 spots to come and go on a history tour, and then we went on a tour of a museum that was boring.
Yeah. I came up to go on history tours and to also make Sergio feel uncomfortable the first night.
Yeah.
Because Chris started making videos saying the history hyenas are in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there going, yo, Pa, am I supposed to go up after Giannis go? You know, so he just pretended like he was sick and went home, even though he definitely could have performed. And then I did the same thing yesterday. We were just all lying to each other.
Yeah, because you were hanging over your ass. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah,
I don't know, cuz I feel like, it's one of those, we're both kind of...
You don't feel like anything because you don't feel.
I don't feel. We got lingering head colds because Sergio, so we went on the road with Sergio Chacon, the Comedy Connection, which was great. Thank you guys. There was a bunch of History Hyena fans who came to the Saturday night show at the Comedy Connection in Providence, and thank you guys so much for coming, showing the support. Thank you, everybody who's been retweeting. I got a comedy special coming out. This is for the Patreon members. Go to patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys because you'll get this Thursday, maybe. Because by the time this podcast comes out to the toots, it'll be Sunday. But a comedy special, size 38 waist, Friday, January 18th, Comedy Central. Nobody's gonna watch it, so just
DVR.
So just DVR it and get it on ComedyCentral.com or the app, and yeah. So
listen, all you got to do is put a little effort in, DVR it, go to their app, take your fingers and scrape whatever scums on your lip and smell it overly. You're fucking gross.
Gross. Cuz you know what? Sergio said a funny thing about you today. He said Giannis is a handsome kid that has ugly days. He said he has ugly days, Pa. Yeah. He said sometimes he'd be coming out with his hair combed and nice, and other days he'd be coming with his hair whacked with his belly out.
Yeah,
and it's such a true thing. You're a handsome kid with ugly days.
Yeah, and
you're having a handsome day today.
Yeah.
Even though you're just in a sweatshirt throwing, you're just a handsome kid.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
If I don't wash my hair, my hair looks thin and stringy.
Right.
There's something about like Pantene promoted that makes my hair look full, like a Charlie's Angel in the 70s.
You're a handsome kid, and you're one of those guys. As you're getting older, you're getting more handsome. You were very handsome. Here's how I can describe you. You were a very handsome kid in your teenage and early college years. Those pictures you show me.
Yeah.
But then in your 20s and 30s, you just look like a fat lesbian.
Yeah.
And now you're just back to being a handsome guy that is probably, sucked to the point where you're gonna have to bat women off you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just a handsome silver fox.
Yeah, your wedding photos, you're gonna look good. You look good in your tux. You look jacked.
Yeah.
You look jacked in your tux.
Because we just all have different peaks, and my peak is going to come in my 50s.
Yeah.
Whereas you right now, there's no oxygen where you are because you're at the peak of your mountain.
Peak. Yeah, and Sergio,
you're losing your hair.
No,
Sergio, you're good. You're good.
Sergio said another.
But I like when you have an insecure spot because it doesn't happen often.
Doesn't happen often. Yeah, you're not a fun hang, Sergio. Yeah, because you're a guy. You're like one of the guys, but you're annoying because like we'll be talking about fun things, and then you'll just tell us like a parent all the things that are wrong with it. Like we'll be like, look at this girl, and you'll be like, yeah, but what about this happens? What about that? We'll be like, Sergio will be like, let's do some cocaine, and you're like, but what about this? You're gonna die, Pop. And then you say little funny words like Pop and things to try to fit in with us, but you're fucking annoying.
Excuse me for wanting to keep my fucking stupid friends alive? Because make no mistake, you guys are Hulk smash fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Sergio's constantly trying to distract himself from the fact that he wants to do a lot of cocaine. And you just want to die inside a tube.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fun hang. I remember there's a story of high school where we all got high and I started like philosophizing and talking about death. Jesse tells a story great. We're sitting by the park.
Gotta get Jesse on.
Everyone's having a great time, and then I just started getting too deep, and everyone just sort of stumbled off because we were all on mushrooms.
Whoa.
And I made people like have nightmares. Yeah, because I started talking about death and hey, man, we're mortal, shit like that.
You're a very smart, intuitive kid. You're very smart. And it's to the it's so I think the positives way outweigh the negatives with how smart your brain is.
It's just
sometimes you're just not fun. Sometimes like guys just want to be guys and be like, look at this, look at that, and not have to deal with like a mom like figure telling us how wrong everything is. You know what I mean?
Well, it's just people like me that just keep this place standing up.
Yeah.
And keep the weights in control.
Oh, we need you as a leader.
Yeah.
Because I did no research on Cleopatra, but that's who we're going to talk about today. Because make no mistake, it's fucking Women's Month.
It is Women's Month.
Delilah should open every podcast.
She should.
Yeah.
But that would be asking Zach Isis to remember another thing, and that would be risky. We just want to make sure he tries to get the podcast up sometime in the week of Thursday.
Yeah, I'm just happy that Zach is wearing a different sweatshirt for the first time since last spring.
But he did, make no mistake, spend his money wisely on finger tattoos.
Yeah, that was smart.
That's a good idea because you never know when a girl's going to be like, I like you. You could really rap. Listen, you got a lot of bars. Yeah, I live over there. I'm over there, I'm living in Bayside too. My boys too. My brother also rap. He got a mixtape. But listen, you're your bars are all right. But oh shit, I didn't really like you till I saw your words on your fucking index finger.
Yeah.
You got your hat over your earphones. Here's the deal. We're a History Hyena podcast. Basically, we go into some history stuff, and then we just want you to fucking Google.
Yeah.
Whenever I learn about something new, like, that's what it's about. That's the era we live in with the internet, is that now you get your interest piqued by something, and then you go and follow up. Like we were in Providence this weekend. We learned about the Brown family.
John Brown, who Brown University is named after. Who's Brown University named after?
Him, his family.
But I thought it was named after specifically his son. Was it actually John Brown?
Well, that's the thing. We're going to do an episode on it.
Oh, not yet, because it's Women's Week.
It's Women's Month. Sorry, listen, it's history. It's history, and it's Women's Year. This is the year of the women. Mm-hmm. And like Natalie Portman said, sarcastically, when they were about to read the nominees at the Golden Globe, she said, "Here are your all-male nominees." Yeah, guess what, Natalie Portman? Your father's also a man, and his dick made you. So pay some respect to the pieces that make people.
Yeah, and just let's be honest, you haven't put out a good movie in a while.
You haven't, but you're a papa. Because we should just go into a place where there's a lot of hot girls and just have pretend machine guns and just go peace.
Yeah,
and listen,
just place a gun and it'll say peace.
And listen, my fiance's listening to this right now. This is what I do as a career, so get off my back.
Yeah!
I'm going to say peace once in a while. I don't mean it.
Because your wedding's 6 weeks away, and I'm going to be honest with you, me and a lot of your close friends have a pool that's going to get called off. And I hope it does, because I got $3,000 riding on this.
Because we had a good time in Providence.
We really did, man. I enjoyed it. I wish I would have gotten a chance to
blow that dude from Houston who came to the show and flew out and is now in love with you.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get him off your back because he's becoming a stalker.
Yeah, swallowed a load. It's what it is. The cigar bar we went to was fucking Providence. I didn't realize what a kind of not cold. I mean, it was physically cold, but the people there are just, it's just, they're very truthful people. I like it. Like we went to your ex-girlfriend's husband's cigar bar in Providence, and it was fantastic. And I remember when we were sitting down, you said to the waitress, you were like, "Oh, I actually know the owner here," and she said, "Good for you."
I said, "Yeah, I'm friends with Megan and Michael Shine." She said, "Oh, good for you."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the attitude of New England people. They're just massholes.
Right.
The stereotype massholes exist for a reason.
Right.
They just kind of like have this kind of like surly, kind of can't be bothered.
Right.
Too cool for school.
Right.
They're not sensitive.
Right.
You just want to walk in there and say, "Listen,
Right.
we're from New York City.
Yeah.
So we're here to give you some tourist dollars.
Yeah.
So you see that this bar's empty?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if you weren't such a fucking bitch,
Yeah.
there'd be more people here giving you more tips.
Yeah.
But there is a reason why you're 40 pounds overweight and you still live in fucking Providence,
Yeah.
which is like living in the D League of the NBA.
Good call.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's what it is. It's like I used to call Canada Practice America.
Yeah, it's what it is.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like the YMCA of America.
Yeah.
You go there to work on your jump shot before you become the fucking best white basketball player in Division 15 history.
Chrissy D.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a good time. I mean, there's a lot of history there. I gotta be honest, there's a lot of history there, but I thought there'd be more in Providence.
Let's be honest.
It was too cold.
Yeah, what was it, like 15 degrees?
Yeah, tell them the story about me bombing in the elevator in front of the Chargers who got their fucking asses handed to them yesterday because they didn't let them at Jukes.
We were staying at the Omni Hotel, which is where the Chargers were staying.
The LA Chargers, yeah.
They stay in Providence because it's closer to Foxborough.
Yeah.
So you tried the first time. We were in an elevator with, it looked like one of the coach's WASP whites. She was the definition. That was WASP energy.
Okay.
Remember that woman that was in there?
Yes.
She's from Arizona or somewhere, Kansas, or, she could be even a Southern Belle Wasp, like from Alabama.
Right.
Like Nate's wife has that kind of like regal, kind of like, they can't help it. Like, I'm better than you. She looks, it's like when she walked in the elevator, she was drinking coffee, it was early. Me and Chris and Sergio's Puerto Rican. Whoa,
So she got nauseous.
I mean, you could see she had a look. Did you see that look? Like
Yeah.
she had a look like something smells?
Yeah.
And then you started talking.
Which, yeah.
And it was before 10 a.m. and she was drinking her coffee. So it was like she was.
And I was talking loud.
Yeah, you were talking loud, and you also, you just sound like a kid who's there, who was just riding down in an elevator that was stopped because you were repairing the ceiling of it. That's what you sound like.
Yeah.
And so you started trying to make jokes, and she was just like, yeah. You saw her, she was like, yeah. And you were like, all right, good luck. You tried to make a joke, and she was like, okay, great. She's like, just like passive aggressive.
She didn't listen to a word I said. She was waiting for that elevator door to open. She got off the wrong floor probably just to get away from me.
Just to get away from you, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the first time. You were you were like a little Franks and Beans kid, excited that
I was
the Chargers
excited
were
that
there.
the Chargers were there, yeah.
You saw the head coach and you were Franks and Beans. You just went Franks and Beans for the kid.
Yeah.
You were like, he's a good coach. I called it. The Chargers are going to win. I thought I was at my brother's school.
And then they lost by 30.
Because you can't get excited around football players when you have a winter hat with a fucking pom-pom on it because you look special needs.
Yeah, let's be honest with each other. I don't have a good hat head.
No, if you cover your hair, you look Franks and Beans. Because make no mistake, you were probably wearing I don't remember, but was it like a Debbie Gibson sweatshirt?
Yeah, something. Whitney Houston t-shirt. Yeah.
So who knows what you got? You always got like Marshall workout sneakers on.
Yeah.
You're a little disrespectful sometimes.
Yeah.
You come out of that.
Look at these. I'm wearing the Chicago Bulls Derrick Rose sneakers today.
Yeah, I mean,
these are wild, right? Can you see them on the camera?
Yeah.
They're wild.
You're wearing sneakers that when I was a kid and I used to go to the basketball courts to play, there would be some black neighborhood kids wearing those and jean shorts.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And they'd smell like weed and they'd have 19 abs.
Yes.
And dreads.
And they could play ball though, right?
Because black kids have 19 ab muscles.
Yeah, they got too many abs.
Too many abs.
Yeah.
So you're a little disrespectful.
Yeah, I'm a little
sometimes.
disrespectful, yeah.
But then, so then we were in the elevator with a few of the actual Chargers players. And Chrissy D, it was actually one of my favorite moments maybe of 2019.
Well, before, could you tell a story? But I was thinking about this. For comedians, perfectly. I don't think any comedians, because we see jokes all the time, and every time we see something that's funny that the public sees, we're like dissecting it, like, why is it funny? Why didn't I think of that? Blah, 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 blah. But farts, and seeing other comedians bomb are the only things that get a guttural laugh from a comic.
Yes.
Am I right on that?
You are 100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a guttural laugh.
100.
Yeah.
Watching a comedian struggle, when you know he's a funny comic.
Yeah.
So let me qualify that.
That's a good call. Yeah.
Watching a bad comic bomb.
It hurts.
It's like, you just get annoyed unless the comic is so bad that the bombs are funny. Like when a comic is so bad, it's kind of like not like a comic who thinks he's good.
Like he just knows he sucks.
Yeah, like Frank Gallo used to be like, I always used to say I wanted to do a Frank Gallo special for comedians.
Yeah.
Because it was just so it was queasy how he had pictures and laminates, and his jokes were like there was a burglar holding a clock.
Yeah.
And then he was like, somebody breaks into your house, and he had like a Jersey accent. He goes, and then the next picture would be like a dildo, and it's like the alarm cock. And, I mean, it's just,
and it would bomb.
It would bomb, but the comedians would be fucking rolling in the back of the I mean, he had this whole pussy lips bit, where he would pretend like Dumbo, he would fly away with the pussy lips, like, and he would do an act out of flying away in big pussy lips.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was.
Is there anything, Frank? Can we post a Frank Gallo clip on the Patreon? So
I can
people
have
know
him
what it
on
is?
the cast and have him do the jokes.
Yeah, and he'll do it.
I don't think there's anywhere you could find him because nobody would ever tape that.
Yeah.
But
Patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys if you want to hear an episode with Frank Gallo bombing.
Yeah, we'll actually get Frank Gallo.
That's a Patreon app. That's not for the free. That's not for the free.
No, it's too good.
That's too good. Yeah.
So to piggyback off what Chrissy said, it's good comics or comics like that.
Good.
Yeah.
Very fair.
So when you watch a funny comic struggle, there's nothing. It's funny to your friends. To the friends, it's like it's a funny thing when you hear a guy go like okay or like yeah. If you ever hear like a or that usually works, it's just hilarious.
Yeah, Colin Quinn will sometimes he'll be working like a new joke and it won't get a laugh and he'll go anyway. Yeah. It's great. And the comedians die laughing.
Yeah, it's always funny.
Yeah.
So Chrissy was in the elevator and you took a swing
with 4 defensive linemen. Those guys were the linemen.
Dude, I cannot believe how big they are.
Huge.
I mean, until you see football players in person when you're standing on the same level as them, these guys are like 6'4", 6'5", and like 2 or 3 of people in one.
Yeah, and it's no body fat. These guys are muscle. Defensive linemen are muscle.
They're just huge.
Yeah.
I imagine that's what Roman soldiers probably you look like compared to because there was no football back then. It was like those were the gladiators.
Yeah, that's what they look like. Yeah.
So it's like being in the hotel with gladiators, and it's me, Sergio, and Chrissy, and then so we're waiting in the elevator, and Chrissy goes again. He tries again and goes, "Chargers is going to win it all, baby." And he's bopping around like he always does, like he's listening to the national anthem before his St. Joe's games.
Yeah,
he's just bopping back and forth, trying to find something to get the heart rate up, and he goes for it.
Yeah,
and he goes, "If you want guys before a big game tomorrow, you can come over to the Comedy Connection. We're comedians. I got a lot of Tom Brady jokes," and the look of disgust. Because I had the vantage point where I could see the guy's face. You were behind him.
Yeah, because his back was too big.
Yeah.
I was just talking to somebody's head.
You made him angry.
Yeah.
You actually made him angry.
Right.
That it was like noise in the elevator, and he was like, come on, man. Like, he just wanted to be in the elevator.
Yeah.
And then you heard the silence of it. Our floor came, and you were like, excuse me, pardon me. And you walked out, and me and Sergio, when we walked out, we're going, yo!
Yo, you bombed!
You bombed! And then you go, yeah, that's why I'm ahead of you in your careers. And I looked at your face, and it was beet red, and you got so angry you lashed out at us.
Yeah,
because you were hurt.
Uncharacteristic.
And it's not characteristic of you.
And it's something. It was so funny. And then also, it was me not being self-aware because the reason why, number one, it wasn't that funny what I said. Number two, I never addressed that I was even talking to them. They potentially thought I was talking to you guys. And number three, the most important one is they're in New England. So a guy that looks like me, they don't know I'm from New York. They just hear my accent. They're like, this is another Patriots fan who's going to say something stupid.
Yeah.
They're shitting on us from the moment we get off the plane.
Yeah.
So anytime, they're probably like, anytime I see a white guy, I just don't want him to talk.
Right.
Because there's no way, unless he's wearing Chargers gear, you know? And even then, they're probably like, he's some fan that's coming across the country. They're annoying. It'd be like, you know, it's like when comedy fans are, it's like I was Chris the Teacher.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Pretty much.
I was Chris the Teacher to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
You were Chrissy Hulk Smash.
Yeah,
to
it was
him.
Chrissy Hulk Smash. But Chris the Teacher's a super fan that we love.
We love, yeah.
Yeah.
In quotes.
I love that we always say it, and then he gets mad, and then he just keeps giving us his money.
Yes.
And that's what we need.
Yeah, I can only imagine football players probably get the most annoyed by football fans of all the sports. Probably because football fans are just beer drinking, kind of fat kids. Racist.
Usually racist.
Football is such a drunk drinking sport that all the stadiums have courts in the stadiums to process people who get arrested tailgating.
Yeah.
I mean, people
That's a good point.
Yeah, people tail. So you can imagine.
Not as bad as soccer fans, though, right? I think soccer fans may be the worst.
The most annoying, most annoying. Go look at my joke. It's just posted on the Instagram about soccer, and that's
illegally.
Not like it matters at all.
Doesn't matter.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, it's a good call.
And so he probably was thinking that same thing, like another. You look like one too. You look like a guy.
I agree.
You should have started be like, "Yo, fam." At one point, it was me, JJ Redick. You know.
Yeah.
I'm wet. You should have told him first. I'm wet.
I'm wet.
I'm the type of kid you put you try to jump when I shoot. My rotation finger might fall on your bottom lip. I'm just kind of a wet kid from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I'm not a patriot. Yeah. You should have just introduced yourself. I'm Chrissy Cackles from Comedy Central. Yeah. Comedy Central deal.
Yeah. Oh no, I should have. When I got in the elevator, you know what I really should have done? I should be like, "Yo, I'm Andrew Schultz from Guy Code," and they would have been like, "Yeah."
They would have been like, "Flagrant 2. What?
Yeah.
Yo, Charlemagne is woke.
Yo, I should have said I'm Andrew Schultz from Flagrant 2.
And they would have been like, "Oh shit, what's up? Andy?"
They wouldn't.
Alt-right Andy?
Alt-right Andy?
Yeah.
Because Alt-right Andy's a funny nickname for Andrew Schultz, but somebody called me Ku Klux Chrissy.
I think Ku Klux.
That's Chrissy. It's funnier. Our fans are by the way, you guys are number fucking one. If you're listening to the podcast for the first time, go to patreon.com/BayRidgeBoys and join up on the matriarchy. Because I don't know anybody. Look at the comments and the community board on our Patreon versus anybody else's. They're 10 out of 10s.
Because did you hear what he just said? A fan came up with Ku Klux Chrissy.
Yeah.
That's 10 out of 10. We died for 10 minutes listening to that.
And Chrissy Wellfarts. Somebody coined Chrissy Wellfarts.
There's a bunch of them. Yeah, there's a bunch. It's all fans coming up with the stuff that we're just stealing.
Yeah, it's what it is.
Jihadi with a Body, that was another fan.
Yeah, I stole it. And then I said it on Comedy Central and passed it off like it was mine.
Yeah, and also Greek with a Physique, that was also
it was hilarious.
Yeah, and
Fox News Friday.
Yeah, triple. How about Turk Tingles?
Yeah, Turk Tingles.
We've had a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
So listen, if you're not joined the matriarchy, you got to go to patreon.com/BayRidgeBoys. At this point, there's so many episodes. If you're a History Hyenas fan,
what number are we up to?
What are we up to, Zach?
I think we're about to hit 50.
Oh, so we got to do something big for 50, no?
So that means there's 50 concomitant bonus episodes that you can only access by becoming a member of the Patreon.
Yeah, I'm trying.
And if you're a $10 member or a $25 member, then that you get even more episodes. So there's a bunch of and they're all
46. We're at number 46.
And a lot, according to a lot of our non-toots, some of our best episodes are on our Patreon page.
Really?
Yes.
Better than the freebies?
Yes. People say the New Year's bonus, there's a few that people are saying are like the best episodes.
What did we say on the New Year's bonus? Is that when I went wild?
Yeah, that could have been when you went wild. Yeah.
The interview one too.
The interview one. Oh, that one. People are saying
like that.
No, people love it. That was last week's.
Yeah,
where Chrissy took an actual interview call from some journalist or whatever podcast, whatever the guy was. He's promoting his special right now, so he's doing Around the Press. His special again airs this Friday,
11 p.m. January 18th, size 38 weeks.
That's 11 p.m. Eastern,
and it'll be on ComedyCentral.com and the Comedy Central app.
Yeah.
If you don't have Comedy Central or if you missed it.
But it's also, if you want to spend a night in, just gather a couple toots.
Yeah.
Get in your apartment. If you're hyena, listen, if you're hyena fans, make some videos.
Yeah.
We want to see it.
Yeah.
So if you're watching fucking Big Buck Chris.
Yeah.
This weekend, Friday at 11, okay? Gather up your fucking toots.
Yeah.
All right? And sit in your living room and make a fucking video for us to watch so we want to see you guys having a Chrissy D Big Butt comedy party.
Yeah, and the video that is the best, whatever video I feel is the best, I'm gonna send a picture of my butt to you.
Yeah.
If you're a woman, I'm gonna ask you first. If you're a guy, I'm just gonna send it.
Well, here it is. This is for the Patreon members because they're the only ones who are going to get this in time.
Yeah.
So to our non-toots,
Yeah.
whoever gives us the best Chrissy D Big Butt comedy party video when we burn Zach Isis on the stakes,
Yeah.
we'll give you a slice of his ass.
Yeah. Fucking. Yeah. Cuz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
I had fucking good time. Everything is going good.
Yeah.
I just, this is one of these days I don't want to be here.
Because you never want to be.
No, last week I wanted to be here because I had a lot of notes on Mary Queen of Scots, and I really enjoyed it. And
So
today,
whose fault's that?
Today, it's my fault, but it's also
Sergio's fault.
It's also Sergio's fault because he was late for boxing, and last night I just got tired because I ran recruit, and I just have to go to LA later, and it's the travel. It's a beautiful part of our job, and if you have told me 10 years ago this is what you get to do, I would say yes, amazing. But it's a lot. It's a lot. Then I have to go on the cruise. I mean, I just got a lot of things coming up, which is great, but it's just. It's the only thing that gives me anxiety lately because my anxiety's been almost at zero, but with the traveling in this, it just makes me upset.
Yeah, but it's just right now because you're special. First of all, the trip to LA is going to be very fruitful.
Yeah, because we're doing podcasts. I'm doing Bert Kreischer's podcast, Theo Vaughn's podcast, Dr. Drew's podcast.
Yeah, so go
big potties.
Listen, look out for those because Chrissy's going to be on those, and then the cruise, which I did last year. You're just gonna there'll be comics you'll have fun with.
Yeah,
and Patty Flyballs might die on the cruise.
He might fall overboard, right?
He might go over on the cruise. So that will be a story that'll shoot us to number one.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to sacrifice. You're a kid who's a good kid who knows how to sacrifice his health for the fun of the people.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get Patty Flyballs drunk, or he'll just get himself drunk, and then he mumbles so much. I'm going to do a Patreon with Patty Flyballs, and our Patreon members will guess what he's actually saying because you won't be able to understand them.
First of all, that's a great idea
because he just mumbles.
Because can you text that to him to remind him of that?
To do Patty Flyballs drunk Patreon?
Drunk Patreon where you try to guess what he says. Also, another video I'm requesting is when you guys are both hammered because you're definitely going to have a few bros.
Yeah.
You're going to have a few bros.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I want you guys to go to the front of the boat.
Yeah.
And make a Titanic video with Patty Flyballs.
Yeah.
I want you to get behind him and say you're the king of the world with your trash bag accent, and that'll also be available on Patreon.
Only patreon.com/BayRichBoys for the non-toots. If you're not on Patreon, you're a toot and your mom's a toot.
Now, we are in History Hyena Women's Month.
I'm fucking happy to be a part of Women's Month.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It feels appropriate.
I can't tell you how many times a week, and it's just been increasing as I get older. I just want to clit. Yeah.
Well, sometimes you say that you do. You keep your dick soft and you just rub the head like a clit, right?
Well, that's how I masturbate. I don't jerk. I don't jerk it up and down like a normal guy. I lay my penis against my stomach, and then I rub. I make like. And then I rub the base of my penis and I slowly massage the head as if it's my clit, and then I shoot glue into my belly button.
Because every time you go off on one of these crazy tangents, we lose 3 black kids.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
Harvey Spencer Jr.'s friends just turned it off.
They turned it off.
Because am I saying his name wrong? I call him Lee Harvey Oswald.
Well, I call him Lee Harvey Oswald all the time. Because it's Harvey Spencer Jr.
Harvey Spencer Jr. What's the safest way to whiten your teeth?
Let's be honest. Yeah. Most successful black guys are either a junior or the third. Is that true?
Because I think if you have a black kid and you want him to be successful, you're right. Throw a junior on there.
You got to throw a junior or with the third.
Because that's fucking
it's
hilarious.
What it is.
Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Harvey Spencer
Jr.
Todd Robinson the third.
The third. George Foreman the third.
Yeah. You're right.
It's just what it is.
Michael Jordan the fourth.
the fourth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, wasn't his father named Michael Jordan?
Yes.
So Michael Jordan Jr.
It's what it is.
You stumbled onto something there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Obama doesn't count because he's not all black.
No, he's half
white. And that's the side that got him elected. Kidding. Wei Shang-Chi, Wei Shang-Chi, Wei Shang-Chi. I'm just fucking kidding.
That's our first Wei Zhang-Jin.
Wow, 28 minutes in without a Wei Shang-Chi.
That's the record.
And it's not like Zach missed one. I haven't said anything wild.
Yeah, that's the Ku Klux Chrissy record right there.
Yeah, 28 minutes. I'm getting better.
Can we keep track of that?
What?
Because that is the record. I'm
28 minutes.
positive. I'm positive 28's the record. The next time we do it, we're gonna keep trying from here on in to see how long we can go without a Wei Zhang-Jin.
Right.
One time we'll do a full episode and see if Chris can go without one Wei Zhang-Jin.
Not going to happen.
It's not gonna happen. But 28 minutes is a pretty good feat.
Yeah.
Now we are.
Oh, sorry. Savannah just sent me the Patreon shout-outs. Thanks for sending it late.
So stick around for the Patreon shout-outs at the end of the episode. But we are going to be talking about Cleopatra in our History Hyenas Women's Month.
History.
We're celebrating women. We're celebrating femininity.
I love it.
Now, she was an inbred woman.
Well, like most.
And
she married her brother. That I know.
This was the part of learning.
Well, let's say when she was born, like 30, she was like 30 to 60 BC she lived.
Yeah.
She lived like right before Jesus.
Right before JC.
Right.
Right before your Lord and Savior
Jesus Christ.
came. Yeah.
Yeah. I might be going back to Catholicism, but that's another episode.
Why? What's going on?
I just might be going back.
I thought you never left, though.
No, I never left. Well, my tattoos always keep me there. But I might just start going back to church.
Yeah? You feel
Yeah.
like you need it a little bit, right?
Yeah, just, just whatever.
Because you're not here for a long time.
I'm here for a good time.
That's
though.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a Franks and Beans kid.
Yeah.
You're a kid who's being tugged in two directions.
Right.
You're ripping yourself apart.
Right.
You are in your own medieval torture device.
Yeah.
Where you have strapped your own right leg and right arm to this.
Yeah.
And then, which is the Catholicism. And then you got your other leg and arm strapped to fucking Cupcake City.
Cupcake. My right and left arm are attached to Catholicism and doing the right thing, and my left side is attached to cupcakes and my baby mama.
And you just rip yourself apart.
Yeah.
And it's a tug of war with yourself, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it makes great entertainment.
Yeah, but my blood pressure is too high.
Yeah.
So is my cholesterol.
Yeah, well, but that's how you like to live this life.
It's what it is.
Yeah, part of that is you got to admit you like to run around.
Yeah.
You're a kid who likes to run around.
I like to run around.
Yeah.
Like I'm landing tonight at 11 o'clock and I have toots waiting.
Yeah, exactly. So you make it a little bit more stressful because then you got to entertain the toots. If you don't like it, you're just dealing with a lot of people.
It's what it is.
Yeah, so you got to set alarms to remember to get to those toots.
That was hilarious that you set an alarm to remind yourself to say thank you for Providence this weekend, because that's what I do. I don't really care about anyone. I just set alarms to remember it so they feel important, but I don't care.
Yeah.
And Giannis is the only one who's ever seen my mask. Giannis sees it off. I meant to say
No,
right.
it sees it on too.
You see it on and off. You know when it's off.
Yeah, but you know what? A guy like you is like, you don't care. You don't care, but you're a good time.
Right.
So it's like you're not out there dumping chemicals into the Hudson River.
No.
You know?
No. I don't want to hurt anybody.
No, you don't want to hurt anyone. You're a kid who likes to feed. You got to feed yourself.
Yeah.
So it's what it is.
Yeah, and I think what I said earlier, and Sergio laughed at it again this morning and thought it was pretty funny because it's true. When you wake up in the morning, you look like your eyeballs switch places. You look like you have to shake your head,
and your
right has to go left and left has to go right.
Yeah,
because your eyes just are backwards.
They're backwards. Yeah.
Before you have coffee and put your glasses on.
Yeah, I left my watch in the hotel room
because $1,000 watch
because my eyes were on backwards.
Yeah, because your eyes were on backwards.
Yeah,
yeah.
So Cleopatra.
Right, go ahead, yeah.
No. Cleopatra was an interesting character in history.
Yeah,
she's famous.
Beyond famous.
She's beyond famous, and
she might be the famous woman of all time.
She is, but like my point, I was learning about this, thinking about like, what was the point? She died at 39 years old.
Okay, killed herself. With Mark Anthony.
Yeah, they both killed themselves because they knew they just much like Hitler and the rest of those guys. They knew that the law was coming down on them.
Hitler and Eva Braun.
Yeah, so they knew that They were about to get fucking conquered.
Yes.
And the gig was up.
Yeah, because Octavian,
Yeah.
he would conquer them.
I
know.
He was coming back to get them.
Yeah.
But it was when you watch Game of Thrones, it's basically based on just that time period.
Yes.
Where there was just power struggles constantly.
Right.
And there was just people going back and forth and borders changing constantly, where kingdoms were at war, kingdoms were uniting. We were more like animals back then because it was all about preserving this bloodline. We
Right.
were so Franks and Beans back then. We didn't know that marrying your brother and your sister isn't going to produce strong progeny.
But they didn't understand that.
They didn't understand that because maybe they were looking at the hyenas, and what they would do is they would kill. A lot of times they would kill their sister, their brother, because their sister, their brother, or even sometimes their son or daughter or niece or nephew
Right.
was a threat to their throne.
Interesting.
Much like you see in hyenas and lions and all types
Like
of
that
predators.
heart-wrenching video we watched one day where even Giannis, who's a cold-blooded reptile snake and has no emotions, even he was getting uncomfortable when we watched that zebra in being impregnated. She was pregnant, and then in the course of the pregnancy, the dominant male who impregnated her either was killed or left the tribe, and there was a new male there, and he waited till that baby came right out and then stomped it to death.
Yeah, because
as soon as it hit the ground.
It's amazing that he knew instinctually that was the offspring of his former rival.
Yeah.
And that was a threat to him somehow.
Yeah.
And that's basically what human history has been.
Yeah.
You know, it's like up until recently, up until like the Greeks, God bless Greeks.
God bless the Greeks.
Invented democracy and the republic and things like that.
The Greeks are number one. Here, I said it to you in Providence. I'll say it again. The thing with the Greeks is without them, we don't have a civilization. We just don't. But nobody cares about them in America.
It's very funny
it's
when you
just
said
what
that.
it is.
It's good that you remembered that because that was 10 out of 10
10
funny.
out of 10 funny. It's just people just care about Italians and Irish, and we pretty much did nothing. But it's just nobody's coming to a Greek parade. But the St. Patty's Day parade is packed.
It's true. What is that?
I don't know, because you guys did the most for anybody, but we just don't care about your heritage.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. Maybe it's because you guys look too much like Middle Easterns.
Wei Shang-Chi. I mean, you are.
Yeah, you gotta come on. Because if you don't give me Wei Shang-Chi right away, it sounds like I'm serious. You gotta do the Wei Shang-Chi right away.
Yeah, he was basically saying we get shunned because we look browner.
Yeah. No, it's a problem with Apu. Go ahead.
Yeah. So you're right, though. That's a very astute observation.
I've had good observations today. The Greek thing and then the black people having to be junior or the third.
Because you're amazing to me because I know how impatient you are.
Yeah.
And how, like, even when things are going good and we're having a great flow and having a great episode, how you want to hurt it somehow because you want to be like, this is not exciting enough. This is not exciting enough.
Yeah.
So it's amazing to me that you could even remember that. With the 500 things in your brain right now, you have 10 alarms to text 10 toots, 10 members of the industry, 10 friends to make you think you care about them.
Yeah.
Then there's like 2 or 3 friends you actually want to contact.
Yeah.
Then you're going to have a whole thread from Hey Bert who's going to ask you about how to hang posters. And then you still got to go to LA. You want to see your daughter. Your baby mama is texting you right now, yelling at you.
Yeah,
and your mom wants you to go back to church, and you remember that.
And I still got to take my baby's mama's mama, my kid's grandma, to go get Vienna sausages from the bodega. Because she can't walk on her own.
Yeah, because she hurt her knee and she needs to go get the baby. BABI.
Yeah, it's true. I'm down at the PEER.
We're just having fun.
We're just having fun. All right, yeah.
Cleopatra was the daughter. First of all, Cleopatra was the name of Alexander the Great's sister. So,
okay. I didn't know that because we thought Cleopatra and Alexander the Great banged out, but they did not.
Now, back then, she was after Alexander the Great.
Right.
So she was the last of the Ptolemy. What do they call it? Ptolemaic.
Yeah.
The Ptolemaic dynasty.
Okay.
In Alexandria, which was the Greek influence that was founded by the Macedonian Greeks.
Yes.
That were led by Alexander the Great and his father, Philip the Second of Macedonia. We're Greek people. We're number one, baby. Cilicia. So we conquer the world, baby.
Yeah.
So his after Alexander the Great died,
Right.
We think they say he died from some disease, but we knew it was fucking AIDS because he was banging dudes.
Dudes, he was banging dudes.
Yes.
He was, right?
So he probably
was just got a lot of puss.
Because he was kind of like Tim Dillon. His room was probably gross.
He was probably gross, but he had really smart ideas.
He did, and he was a cute fucking kid.
But he's gonna die of AIDS, just like Tim.
And he did kill his best friend when they got hammered one night. It's just what's going to happen when Patty Flyballs throws your sneakers out the window.
Yeah.
He treated his friend, whatever his name was, like fucking Nike sneakers in Vegas.
Yeah, he threw his sneakers out the window and then hurled a racial slur at him.
It's what it is.
It's just what it is.
It's just what it is.
It just happens. Yeah, listen, the FDNY, when they come into your house, it's just they probably are hurling racial slurs, but they will put out the fires.
Yeah, they will put the flyers, and it's just on the truck ride back. They're gonna talk about whose house they were just in.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
It's just what it is.
Okay.
So, it was founded by Ptolemy. Was one of Alexander's generals, one of the successors. There was a big power struggle between all the generals because Alexander did not announce a successor.
Right,
and,
which is a problem.
Yeah, and so Alexandria, which was named after Alexander, and that reign was 275 years. She was the last one. She was the last pharaoh.
And that's impressive because that's how amazing Alexander the Great was. He was a Greek kid that got a bunch of Sandys to name a city after him.
Yeah.
Wei Shangxi.
Yeah.
But is it true?
Are we gonna need cackles on that one?
You think we'll need some cackles? Maybe?
Let me get 5 Wei Zhangxings, and I'm gonna do 4 more. Yeah. Yeah. One more. And then our Father of Hail, Grace Mother, were you there when she sacrificed you, Jesus?
No, were you there when they crucified my Lord?
Yeah. I'm just trying to erase the Sandra D.
Yeah, but
can you just call him Sandra D's?
Sandra D's.
Look at me, I'm Sandy D.
Cause I sing that song to myself. I tuck myself back and I sing Sandy D in the shower.
Cause do you think?
Cause I'm a kid who has a loofah.
Because we're having too good a time on this podcast, we're gonna get a complaint for Holly Carr and the Bowler.
Yeah, but I'm just not going to apologize. I'm going to say, "Eat it, you fucking fat fuck."
You wanted to say Sandra D.
You Sandra D.
Because calling Zach Isis's people Sandra D's, is maybe a funny thing.
It's a funny thing.
Yeah,
and it's
from the movie Grease,
and it's a fun, safe thing to say.
Is he a Sandra D?
He's a Sandra D, and we could say it in public, and nobody's gonna know. Like Mavri.
Wei Songxian.
Oh God.
Yes.
Oh God, I'm fucking dying here.
Yeah. Let's get to Alexander the Great.
We're not. This is not comedy in 2019.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Let's talk about what a fucking piece of shit Alexander the Great was.
Yeah,
and how he's just another classic example of the patriarchy and what's wrong with it. And let's just have a fucking moment of silence for Ruth Bader Ginsburg, even though she's still alive, but she looks like she died 10 years ago.
Okay, here we go into our progressive segment of the History Hyenas.
Yeah.
Here it goes. Listen, Cleopatra, she was the ruler, but guess what? She was only allowed to rule if there was a male ruler with her. So she was forced to marry her brother, who was like 10 years old, because that's the way the fucking patriarchy existed back then.
Yeah, watch Broad City Tuesday nights.
Yeah, which is actually true. She had to marry her brother, and his name was all her brothers were named Ptolemy, and she had some other sisters, much like Jesus had brothers, because Mary got fucked a few times.
I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, Mary had dicks inside her pussy.
That's why I'm going to church.
And Jesus had a brother named James who was born because Joseph's dick, he had a nice fucking piece, and they rubbed muffs, because make no mistake, back then, nobody had a shaved down bush, so everyone had few.
I'm gonna call in.
It is what it is.
Did Mary have...
Don't fucking say it. She did not. She has no fumes.
Synced perfectly.
That was
wild.
I mean, that was
because
wild.
That's because the Divine Mother Mary's energy ran through me.
Because your mother cannot listen to this podcast because she's going to develop an arrhythmia.
Yeah.
She will develop an arrhythmia early.
Yeah, she can't do it.
This is not part of the podcast. Please don't be listening, Mrs. DeStefano.
Yeah, and Eileen can listen if she wants to on the neutral staircase only. That's the only place we have Wi-Fi.
Because how many times did you put on your... I picture you as a kid who was wearing, let's say, you were on a budget. Your family was on a budget.
We're on a budget. Yeah, we couldn't just do whatever we want. That's why most of our vacations would be to Hershey Park because we could drive there.
So when you sat down on the neutral staircase to put your jacket on in the winter to go to Catholic school,
Yeah.
there were some shoes down there waiting for you on the neutral staircase.
Always. That's why I left my shoes on my jacket on the banister.
So
there.
you were in neutral territory, and you're just slipping on your shoes to go to Catholic school.
Right.
So, and what are those shoes? Penny loafers?
Those shoes were no, they weren't. We would have to buy them from a Catholic school store that was in the neighborhood. All the Catholic schools had to buy their uniforms from the same store.
Okay.
So I
you
would
had
buy them.
Catholic
They were laced up shoes though. Yeah.
And did they have a bump on the top because you got a broken feet?
Yeah, they would. Usually, you'd have to cut a hole in the front, give my toes a little air.
So if I saw those shoes just laying by the staircase, I would think they were either yours or Nikki Glazer's.
Yeah.
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 Because they're kind of molded differently because
They're molded
the feet are...
different. The feet are jacked up. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's what it is.
So Cleopatra was an interesting... She was not as much of a piece as
Really?
Hollywood has depicted her as.
Are you sure about that?
That's what they say.
Did she have fumes?
I mean...
She had to, right?
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but supposedly it was her guile, it was her personality, it was her charisma that
made her hotter.
Yeah. By the way, Julius Caesar was 52 at the time, and she was 21, and he banged her out, and they had a kid called Caesarion, which means Little Caesar or Pizza Pizza.
Yeah, or pizza. And because, let's be honest, I've been in this situation, because she was just a young toot, not lead, he said it wasn't his kid.
Because we may be the best history podcast, because that was 10 out of 10.
And it's true, though. But that he did not the white part. I was obviously just kidding about that. I mean, the part that Caesar really claimed that he did not... That was not an heir to his throne. He said, that is not my child. He did not believe it.
Yeah, and well, he was doing that a lot for political reasons because there was this tug of war going on. You know, he ends up getting killed, Caesar.
Yeah,
you know, by Brutus and a
March.
couple of fucking backstabbing dudes.
Yeah, fucking Brutus, you're a fucking rat fuck.
Yeah, it's like-
because I had a Caesar haircut most of my life.
It's what you and Hey Bird are going to do to me one day.
Yeah.
We're going to be walking around and I'm going to be fucking yelling
Yeah.
stuff, and you guys and Hey Bird's just gonna you're gonna have Hey Bird as your robot, and he's just gonna fucking stick me up and say, "I'm sick of you holding me down."
Yeah, it's what it's gonna be.
It's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So they killed him. Gluebert's gonna kill me one day.
Yeah, Gluebert's still mad at you.
Yeah, Gluebert's mad.
I was in the middle of a fucking Glubert Giannis civil war last week, and I hated it.
It was really a waste of your time.
It was a waste of my time because at the end of the day, like always, Glubert just is going to come crawling back because he doesn't have a spine.
Hebert.
I'm kidding, Glubert.
not
You know
true.
we fucking love
It's
you.
not true, yeah.
I was just kidding. Giannis was a fucking asshole, and you know I'm on your side,
Yeah,
Glubert.
I phrased things wrong, and I apologize. I have to remember to be a little kinder, and also not to offer advice when people don't ask. It's true.
Unsolicited advice.
Yeah,
'Cause
I mean,
Glubert-
I'm right, but I'm not going to get into that.
Because Glubert's doing...
No, I'm just kidding.
Glubert, a.k.a. James Madden, a.k.a. Mad Dog Madden, is fucking crushing it in his career, lives on his own, is the third Bay Ridge boy, and is a dear, dear friend of ours, and we love him so fucking much.
And he's such a great guy, and he's so funny. And you actually helped me see that. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, look, you just can't. Some people, like, you just, you know. Sometimes I don't adapt the way I operate to who I'm around.
Right.
If I can say anything around you, you're just kind of got a
'Cause I
thick
don't
skin.
care.
You don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah,
And-
I was coached a lot. You know, my mom wasn't a toot. I didn't like make it out of like Las Vegas. Like none of his friends even made it out of Las Vegas. And not only to like overcome his mom being a toot, his dad being an unknown, his grandmother being Hitler Youth in Las Vegas, he came all the way across the country, made a career and a name for himself, and now lives alone in Bay Ridge and is just at the top of his game, killing. I didn't have really any of those problems. I had a fucking Catholic mom. I had Aunt Eileen. You know, my dad stole my money, but it's what it is. And I just, you know, I didn't really have to go too far.
We're on the free episode.
It's what it is. And I just, that's the only thing I had to overcome. So it's fine.
If you guys don't,
Gilbert did well.
If you don't understand, you guys are experiencing just a treat that is Chrissy.
Right.
Chrissy he's not like the rest of us where we all have insecurities and hangups. Chrissy is green light.
I'm green like go.
Chrissy, you know when that light turns green? Every time you're sitting in your car and you see that light turn green.
Yeah.
I want you to see Chrissy's face.
Yeah.
Because that green light right there is a picture of Chrissy cackles. Because you're green light go.
I'm green light go, and you guys, and what Hyenas means you're only getting a taste is because I go wild and then say whatever I want on this podcast. But if you guys join patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys,
It gets wild.
fucking wild.
Yeah.
There's no way Shang-Chian button
Yeah.
for the Patreon members.
No. If this is, let's say PG-13,
Yeah.
that's NC-17 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, back to Cleopatra, because Hollywood makes it seem like she was just a fucking hot pea.
Supposedly she wasn't. Supposedly when she did stay in Caesar's villa,
Okay.
when she came to Rome,
Right.
she was there with Cicero, the great Roman senator who recorded a lot of this history for us.
Right.
And he said she was arrogant. He didn't like her.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe he, because he's one of the major accounts of her.
Right.
Maybe he just didn't like her.
Yeah.
So he maybe she had to be somewhat of a fucking piece.
She had to be.
Yeah, she had-
Why did the simulators make video cameras so long to invent? Like, what do you that must have been on purpose? Like, did Cleopatra ever really exist? Because there's really no proof she ever existed. Somebody could have just started writing stories when they got paper and a pen, and it could all be lies.
Well, the thing is, like, there's like I think busts of her. There's like marble busts of certain people.
Right.
There's no question that a lot of this stuff is game of telephone off. There's no question.
Right.
I mean, even when you look at let's look at the story of Jesus, which is like an obvious
Be careful.
myth that was adopted from the Egyptian
Getting mad.
rulers. What the thing about Cleopatra that really is interesting is her story brings to light how, because she was a great ruler.
Right.
She ruled during a time where
She kept the peace, right? Or
yeah, her people, she did a good job because listen,
Yeah.
Egypt, that area, especially back then, Alexandria and Egypt, much like the Egypt in its glory days, in its heyday, it ate off the flooding of the Nile River.
Mm-hmm.
So during her reign, the Nile River wasn't that flooded, so they had to. She kind of developed a welfare system so her people could eat.
Really?
Yeah. So she was kind of like the FDR of her time.
Really?
Yeah, because
she developed like she was an early proponent of welfare.
kind of something like that. It's an
Interesting.
ancient form of that to sort of redistribute the food, because that's just the thing. Fucking these utopian libertarians or communists or social, they don't take into account the gray zone where we live. If
Right.
you're a gray zone adult,
Yeah.
you're going to like this podcast. First of all, we go fucking wild. Second of all, we're just kind of living in a gray zone where we understand you can't evaporate context from your argument.
Right.
Like, if Cleopatra adopted a laissez-faire capitalist system during that time, there would have been a revolt and she would have died because their food was based on the flooding of a river that didn't really happen during her reign. It was the environment. There's you got to adapt to the times and the context, and it always vacillates.
And I think the reason why we have a problem now is, like you always say, is because the times now are people have everything and anything they've ever wanted, so they're bored. So
Yes.
now they're just, but like anything else, it's still a problem to deal with because now we're just battling our minds. Before it was like you're battling real elements, real things. The Nile not flooding.
Now you're battling Louis C.K.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the reign from 305 to 30 BC. That is the Ptolemaic kingdom
Okay.
and the last dynasty of ancient Egypt that had ties to, it was basically a Greek, it was a Macedonian founded kingdom.
Yeah,
the rulers were
because by the time Jesus came along, Egypt was they were in the past. It was all about Rome.
Yeah, Ptolemy Soter, he was one of Alexander's general that kind of started that fucking dynasty.
Right.
And it only lasted 275 years, and she was the last one.
Right.
And she was
Cleopatra.
She spoke Greek. Cleopatra spoke Greek. She also learned Egyptian because her people, they were rulers of that area, and it was
Wait a minute,
conquered.
Cleopatra wasn't native Egyptian?
No.
Where was she born?
She was the progeny of this white conquering, white. Back then, she Macedonian. I mean, her skin was lighter.
Right.
She was Greek. She was Greek. She spoke Greek. She spoke, I think they call it Koinic Greek. Koinic.
So she wasn't Egyptian by blood at all.
No.
Her people were, but she wasn't.
Exactly.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, she learned shit on the history of Hyenas.
Yeah, the Egyptians accepted the Ptolemies, which were descendants of this general,
Right.
as the new pharaohs of Egypt, because that's what they were
Right.
used to. And let's be honest, the people are Franks and beans.
Right.
So they just accepted it. You create a religion, like I was about to say. The story of Jesus is based on the story of Isis and Osiris and the 3 days and all that shit. The sun. It's all stories that are retold to keep the people in order. Because part of ruling is making your people happy and keeping the peace, using them for war, battling for resources. The people at the top create the story.
Right.
And you need people at the top because people are Franks and beans.
Yeah.
So she did a good job of that in a lot of ways. And she got famous for banging out Julius Caesar.
Right.
And Mark Antony. Mark Antony was Julius Caesar's closest advisor.
Yeah.
After Julius Caesar got fucking whacked.
Yeah.
How would they call it? Yo, if you were doing a song, son, you would say, my peoples ain't eating right now. But, when we blow, we all gonna eat. Yeah, I mean? Julius Caesar was around the way. He caught a bullet. He caught lead. Yeah, I mean?
That's how Zach Isis would say it.
If he made a song called Julius Caesar, he would be like, yo, Julius Caesar up on St. Nick and 4, caught some lead, and it's what it is. Shout out to the Hyenas, my boy Chrissy Cackles, and you want Yanni B. I had to keep going because my peoples need to eat. We breaking bread. We got tattoo fingers.
Fire!
Can you do a rap? A History Hyena rap?
Zach?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, write a song about me and Chrissy in this podcast. That'd be
And
funny.
DeLuca will make the beat.
And then, or you can make the beat because
For sure.
Lord knows you're in the studio enough.
Yeah.
Right?
You're only not in the studio when you got to get the Patreon up.
So So, you go back and you read about that period. It's like there was this constant war to control certain areas. There was a civil war in Rome. What's her name? Cleopatra. She ended up siding with Mark Antony.
Well, Mark Antony?
Yeah, she was just a maneuverer. You can go Google it yourself. But the main gist of it is Cleopatra made a lot of savvy maneuvers,
Right.
in holding power and being an effective, efficacious ruler,
Right.
And she banged out 2 famous dudes.
And then eventually, when the wall started closing in on her, she fucking killed herself with Mark Antony.
Yeah, she did just the same thing like Adolf did. She had twins with Mark Antony.
Yeah, probably cute kids too, right?
Yeah, they were cute kids.
I can't believe Cleopatra wasn't a piece. I'm going to keep her as a piece in my head.
That's what they say. I mean, that's that. I think
But you can't prove it, I guess, right?
you can't prove it, but that's what they say. That's the consensus amongst the historians, and Americans have that image of her as a piece in their head because of Hollywood.
Right.
So they're saying Hollywood is kind of what created that image of her. And I mean, a lot of stories have been told about her too.
Because a lot of stuff wasn't known about her early life. I know. We really only know about Cleopatra in her 20s, and then she died in her late 30s. So really...
39.
The Cleopatra that we know really is just a few years of history on her. Because nobody knows what she was doing when she was a child. She was like... It wasn't recorded.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is because so much of her story has been fictionalized.
Right. You don't know what's the truth.
Yeah, and even going back to art, Baroque art, and the Renaissance, and in paintings... and even Shakespeare. Shakespeare's play Antony and Cleopatra in 1608. Operas. Handel wrote an opera about her in 1724. So her story's been fictionalized. She's a myth. She's almost when people like Othello, like stories, Henry VIII. It's like. If you become, like, for example, let's think about like an American movie, like Raging Bull. Then you're like, you start to know that about that guy. You start to think
Jake LaMotta.
Jake LaMotta was like that. It's like it becomes a little fictionalized.
But it probably wasn't like that.
Yeah, like we're not really like this. We don't walk around all day saying pieces, but we do.
Yeah, we're living myths.
Yeah, then Hollywood made a movie, Cleopatra in 1963. What's her name played it, right? Didn't the piece who used to hang around with Michael Jackson and act weird.
Audrey Hepburn?
No, the other one played Cleopatra. She was a piece back then. Famous chick.
And the movie was called Cleopatra?
It was called Cleopatra, yeah.
Was it a whack movie?
No, it was like one of the most famous.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah. Cleopatra is ancient Greek.
Wow, could you imagine if Elizabeth Taylor played Cleopatra today? Like that would never happen. You're not going to get a white woman.
Oh, but she was wing. wee.
Oh, but Cleopatra was wee.
She was wee.
Okay.
Yeah, she was kind of wee.
Yeah.
And her name meant glory of her father. And it was actually, like I said, it was Alexander's sister's name was Cleopatra. So it was Greek for glory of her father.
She likes you.
Yeah. And that's basically her story, man. She there's part of the reason why they don't think she was that much of a piece is they finally found a coin,
Right.
a drachma, which actually was what the Greeks called their money up until the euro. Back then, she had drachmas in Alexandria, and her face was on the coin. And on the coin, she's not that much of a piece.
Right.
But I don't think you can go on that.
Right.
But some people do go on that. And if you look at that coin, you can Google it. She doesn't look like a piece. She's got a real wild
see
nose. Just Google it. Google or Zach, pull it up.
Can we pull it up? I want to see it. I want to see if she's a piece. I want to see if I can still swim through.
So she ruled Egypt and other territories as an absolute fucking ruler, dude. She was like a dictator. She was the lawgiver of her kingdom. She was the religious authority, whatever the fuck that meant at the time. There was a synagogue for the Jews in Egypt. She even built the Caesarium of Alexandria, dedicated to the cult worship of her patron and lover, Julius Caesar. So she was a hands-on freaking ruler of Alexandria. And it's what it is.
It's just what it is.
It's what it is.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening to the fucking matriarchy. It's Women's Month. We appreciate it. Patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys if you want to be a full non-toot. Because right now, if you're not a part of the Patreon, you just are a toot. And when you look in the mirror, you're just going to see toot-like behaviors because you're a toot. So we do have, our newest members of the matriarchy that we'd like to read out. That's what we do. If you join our matriarchy, we read your name out loud on the podcast, and Giannis Cucky Pappas tries to guess the ethnicity. So here, we're going to start off with, ready, Jan?
Yeah.
Newest member of the matriarchy, Jan Beaner with an average wiener, Ochoa.
We got ourselves a Mexican kid.
Mexican.
Yeah, and he's got an average piece.
Tony DeMio.
Tony DeMille, let me ask you something. Ma!
Yeah. Adam Alkithiri.
Adam Alkithiri.
Yeah, that's
First
tough.
name, we're going to go Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Mechalim.
Yes.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu Melech Eloheinu.
Yes.
Adam is definitely a Jewish name.
Right. And
but
then
I've met
Alkithiri.
it's also a Christian name. Alkithiri?
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is the first one to stump me.
Got stumped.
I'm going to go wiki wee.
Wee. Next up, we have Dakota Selch.
Oh my God, that is hi. My name is Dakota. Can I have 2 Alabama Slammers? And can you put on Keith Urban? Thank you.
Thank you. And it looks like a guy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, next up,
Yeah.
Q the God.
Cue the yo.
Yo.
Boy, shit. Yeah, me, yo. My top 5? Yo, you want to hear my top 5,
Hit
shit?
the top 5.
Yo, Rakim.
Yeah.
For real, EPMD, you heard?
Yeah.
Drake, you heard?
Yeah.
And I gotta go. Definitely, I'm gonna go. Of course, Big B.I.G. Of course, that's everybody top 5. And Michael Che.
Yeah. And his email's at huckthefaders.com.
Yo, that's what. Yo,
Yeah.
that's
okay.
what's up.
Next up,
Yeah.
Ron Haraka. Wow. Yeah, Haraka.
Kamikaze episodes of the podcast are available on Japanese Kid.
Yeah.
We got a Japanese kid.
Yeah.
He's safe during the summer
Wei
months.
Shan Xian.
It's only the Chinese specifically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maddie Elliott.
Maddie Elliott.
Maddie Elliott.
Maddie.
IE Elliott.
So she's the girl.
the girl.
And I'm going to say she is a white girl.
Yeah.
And she's definitely from like Pennsylvania. And she just wants to say, Chris, I've been a fan since the Carly days on Girl Code.
Yes. Oh, here's a wild one.
Yeah.
Ferenc Gasper. Ferenc Gasper. Gaspar.
He's a fucking Egyptian kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ali Akbar.
Ali Akbar. Cleopatra's not your leader. Next up, Brian Porasef.
Brian Porasef is just a good old white kid. Okay?
Yeah.
He's a kid who definitely has a job in a strip mall.
Yeah.
He's a suburban white kid. He's a good kid, and he will have a crystal meth problem in the near future. It's just
what it is. Next up, she's a $25 member, Sarah Hagen Miller.
Thank you for your service. Anyone with 3 names comes from family money. She's married. She's a stable girl.
Yeah.
She loves us. We love you. You're a $25 member, and you're
And we're going to call you on the pod.
Yeah, and you're gonna pick up the phone like, "Hey,
Hi. Super Dave.
Super Dave."
Yeah.
He's a white kid with a good sense of humor, and he likes to watch Supreme Patty videos and pour limes in his eyes.
Yeah.
And he did what's the Blackbird challenge when he's a dumb white kid.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. What's that challenge where they wrap a fucking thing around their eyes and they try to
the
drive?
Bird Box challenge.
Yeah, he's the Bird Box. He's a Bird Box, hate bird, fucking glue bird, fucking Franks and Beans white kid.
Wait, that's a new challenge now? People are wrapping their eyes
Yeah,
and trying to
because
drive?
let's just be honest. Let's
Yeah.
just say what it is, Chrissy. Most people are fucking stupid.
Stupid.
So what they're doing is they're putting from
Like
the
Bird
movie
Box,
and
yeah.
they're trying to drive, and some kid just crashed and killed himself. So it's what it is.
Good. First name Frankson, last name Beans Wild.
His ethnicity is funny kid.
He's just a funny fucking kid.
Yeah, he was
Right?
a funny kid.
Okay, now this one, there's no picture. It's just a picture of the cat and one name, Matthew.
With one name,
It's one name, but the name is Matthew. But it
Okay.
is one name.
I'm just gonna go. He's one of the apostles, and
That's
that's what it is.
That's what it is. Next up, Ray Pletcher.
Ray Pletcher. Oh, he sounds like a dick.
Yeah.
Ray Pletcher sounds like you're going like, is Ray Pletcher gonna be there?
Yeah,
and then you don't
Ray.
want to go. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's a kid who like meets his friends at Cheesecake Factory, and he's a white kid, and he's a Ray Pletcher. I'm gonna go Wasp.
Next up, she looks like a piece, Allison McNeil.
Alison McNeil. Her family's from Ireland.
Yeah.
She's a Germanic tribe girl, and she's over here. Her parents came over during the potato famine, and they've been here since. And she's from Long Island.
Yes, she's.
She knows who Sean Donnelly is, and she.
Yeah. She thinks he's a creep.
Yeah.
Next up, Bill Fugere. Fugere.
Another freaking Irish kid.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a pasty Irish kid. Watching Irish kids walk around in their boxer shorts bothers me.
Yeah.
Because they're so pale. Like, you're pale.
Yeah.
It bothers me seeing you walk around in shorts.
Yeah, I'm an ugly kid naked. Last but not least, Ryan Jackson.
Ryan Jackson. I mean,
He's a first round pick.
because he's on the practice squad of the San Diego Chargers.
It's what it is. He
what
doesn't
it
laugh
is.
at my jokes. Who are we calling up now?
This is Sarah Hagen Miller.
All right, we're calling up Sarah and Hagen Miller, and those were the newest members of the matriarchy. So thank you so much.
And stick around for our bonus episode on patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys. Me and Chrissy are the Bay Ridge Boys. Patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys, where we're going to go into further detail about Cleopatra and a lot of the political moves she made and more of her story in relation to the other rulers in that theater of history. Because make no mistake, we did a lot of hyena and very little history.
But it was still a good amount of history.
Yeah, we do it. We do our
Hi,
thing.
you've reached Sarah's phone. I appreciate the call. Please receive a message and I'll get back to you as
Black.
soon as I
She's a
can.
black girl.
No, she's not.
Oh.
Hey, Sarah, what's up? It's Chris Stefano, a.k.a. Chrissy Salmons, and I'm on here with Hyenas Papas, and I just want to say thank you for your $25. You probably didn't pick up the phone because you're either a substitute teacher or you're the substitute teacher out on Long Island, or you could be an off-duty Nassau Community College security guard. So thank you, Sarah, for everything. And you look like a piece in your picture, but I know you probably got a husband named Donnie who got laid off last week, and things have been hard. You know, the Jets didn't make the playoffs, and that's always a sad time. So, all right, Sarah, thank you so much. I gotta go. Giannis's ass is dirty.
You think she was? What was her name again?
Sarah Hagen Miller.
Oh yeah, she's from Long Island, and
Yeah,
she
'cause
married
she-
a white kid. Yeah.
Because she said I can't take your call right now.
Oh yeah, you go out. You gotta. Yeah, she's out on the island.
She's out on the island.
She's out on the island. She's going to Huntington. She's going to see Jim Brewer for the 10th time.
Yeah, 100%. All right, guys, listen, go to patreon.com/Bay Ridge Boys. As always, be part of the Patreon, be a non-toot. Go to ChristyComedy.com, YannisPapas.net, see where all our shows are. We're probably coming to a city near you.
Oh, I'll be in Canada. If you're up there, if there's any people in Canada, I'll be in Hamilton, Ontario. Not this weekend, but next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. So thank you guys so much for listening and all that you do. And we talked about Cleopatra, and the Patreon episode, we'll probably try to get an interview with Frank Gallo and have him do his jokes, and it'll be hilarious. We'll just get into more info about Cleopatra and other famous women. It's cute. I got to go suck a guy's dick in Houston.
Huh?